Alrighty, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes!
Great.
Wonderful. Alright, guys. My name is Peter. I'll be your driver and your guide for the next, say, 2 to 3 hours. If you take a glance off to the right, you can catch a glimpse of our beautiful Silver River and the Lost River Voyage, which I hope you all had a chance to check out today. It's definitely fun. Alright, guys, off here to the left, where they at? There's one on the ground. There's 3 more in there somewhere. These is our family of 4 white-handed gibbon apes. Notice I say apes and not monkeys. Monkeys have tails, apes do not.
Where's the squad in the town?
شفت الفرق ما بين التركي والإيه؟
Ah, a little thief stealing some of our apes' food.
اوكي هو اختفى.
Anyway, these guys come from the Southeast Asia, Malaysia, and Thailand area. These guys are the smallest of the ape family. In maturity, they'll only weigh about 20 pounds. Now here in captivity, they'll live to be about 40, 45 years old. Now these guys truly are nature's acrobats. They'll swing through the trees and through our enclosure here at speeds of over 30 miles an hour. Truly entertaining to watch. Now coming up here on this big enclosure on the left, we've got one of our 3 Kodiak brown bears. The Kodiak brown bears from the Kodiak Islands off the south coast of Alaska. This guy here stands about 11 feet tall, weighs about 1,100 pounds. Now in the wild, he'll easily double that weight due to the need to hibernate, which this being beautiful sunny Florida is not quite there. Now this guy may be big, but believe me, he's not slow. He can reach a speed of about 40 miles an hour in a time of only about 10 seconds. That's a whole lot of bear coming at you really, really fast. Alright folks, well if you've noticed, our pavement has run out, so it's gonna get bumpy. It might even get a little dusty. And if I can help it, it might get muddy for the first, say, 7 or 8 rows.
Oops,
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
And there isn't even
Push another hip.
Exactly. It's not even taking us.
Alright folks, that wasn't too rough for anybody, was it?
No, it's fun.
No? Alright, that was at about maybe 5 miles an hour. I'm going to ask you the same question again when we hit about 50. And clunk. Alright folks, as I said, my name's Peter. So if the ride gets a little rough, you want me to slow down, or you just want to holler at me for no apparent reason, go ahead and yell at me, holler at me, or throw something at me. Although if you do throw something at me, please make it light. I've still got a lump on the back of my head from last week. That won't go away. Although the lady that did throw that phone sure did give me a nice new Nextel. Oh well. Right here on the right, we've got the happiest tree in the forest. This is Bernard. Bernard is currently doing what Bernard does all day, every day. Stand there, look pretty, and smile at our guests. Bernard here is also on the payroll as our night watch tree. He's been here every single day of his life. Never once been late for work. Works for cheaper than dirt. And to this day, we've never had a single tree escape. A couple close calls, mind you, but Bernard put a swift stop to that. Now, speaking on a sense of urgency and swiftness, we've got one of the fastest animals in the world in this enclosure coming up on the left. If you blink, you'll probably miss him. All I gotta do is find him. Ah, there he is. Right there, folks, that's Flash. Flash here is an African spur-thighed tortoise. Now, we named him Flash because of his amazing speed. Flash here is about 23 years old, weighs about 130 pounds. Now, here in captivity, Flash will easily live to be over 100 years old, maybe even 110. Now, when he's fully grown, Flash will be about 3 feet wide and weigh over 250 pounds. Does anybody back there know why Flash will live so long? No? Well, if you look at his feeding tray, he is a vegetarian, and he doesn't smoke. Anything other than the competition, that is. Now, this part of the trail, the older drivers tell me, used to be called the tunnel. They called it the tunnel because the vegetation and overgrowth through here was so thick, not an ounce of sunlight made it in, and they had to drive through with their headlights on just to see 10 feet in front of them. Well, a few years back, those hurricanes that came through back to back just on this little stretch of road, wiped out over 150 trees. Our experts tell us that for Mother Nature to return to her former glory, it would take over 150 years. So if anybody would like to see Silver Springs as she once was, please come back in about a century and a half. That's really not that long a wait. I'm sure I'll still be here. If y'all do come back, please ask for me by name, and I will take you for a private tour. Let's see, in 150 years, that would make me 169. I'll still be here. Now right here on the left, to my direct left, these are not ponies. These are full-grown miniature horses. These guys, because of their size, are bred for mine work, like gold mines, diamond mines, salt mines, other things mine-related. Like I said, these guys will not get any bigger. They're as big as they're going to get, which is good for us because we can feed 3 for the price of 1. Now, coming up here on the left, scattered about, these are llama. The llama is from Peru. They're used as pack animals because they can carry between 200 and 250 pounds on their back. Now, the llama is in the camel family, and being in the camel family, they've picked up that wonderful habit of spitting. And they love to spit, particularly at me. Which is why I'm glad most of them aren't even acknowledging my existence right now.
That bull is a big bull, man.
Now, before they realize who I am and what I'm doing, I'm going to continue driving. Right here on the left, this big guy laying here under the feeding trough, that is a Galloway belted cow. He weighs about 1,000 pounds. He's from Scotland, and he's currently on loan to us from McDonald's. Now, off here to the right, these little sheep laying around on the ground, these are Moulin sheep, or something that's a little easier to remember is the self-shearing sheep. They differ from ordinary sheep in having hair and not wool. If they get hot, uncomfortable, or otherwise inclined to, they'll rub up against a tree or rock and it'll shear the hair right off. Now folks, these 2 birds up here, the one right by the cattle grate, the little silver and gray one, and the big white one that's all poofed up over there. The little silver and gray one is the female. The big poofy white one, that is our male rhea bird. Now, the rhea bird has kind of a funny story to go with it. The male will build a nest. Are you going to come and try and peck at my tire again? Yes, you are. Anyway, there is kind of a funny story behind these guys. The female will come into a nest that the male has made, lay her eggs, and then leave. The male will then come back to the nest, lay on it until the eggs hatch, and raise the children. We call him the Mr. Mom Bird. We call her smart.